All right. All right. I need everybody to go on Rumble right now and follow my page so you don't miss out on any videos or live streams. Anytime I share the links on X, they get hidden due to the fact that we are no longer allowed to post external links on X that get broadcasted out to everybody. So even if you have your notifications on X, you might not get it. So follow, turn the notifications on. That way you don't miss any of the free content I'm putting out here in the future. All right, before we get going here on Mando's Morning Brew, please do me a favor and press that heart or thumbs up button, whether you're watching on X, Rumble, or YouTube. Also, make sure you have your post notifications on so you do not miss any of the content that I put out. And lastly, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. I will retweet it. Thank you.
Bonus points.
Yes, what's going on, everybody? All right, let's get rolling here. A little late this morning. It's all right. All right, let me know if you can hear me, and then we'll get going. First off, moving forward here, important to have Rumble. I'm going to start these on YouTube and X, and then I'm going to cut the stream midway, and we're going to get rolling. Only on Rumble, okay? So if you don't have one, it takes 22 seconds to set one up, and we'll get rolling. Morning. Seeker, let us know how that Bitcoin conference is, man. But anyways, let's roll. We'll get into some overall market recap. What we said yesterday. Go back and watch yesterday's. Where was it an important spot to bounce? Yep. Okay, so we'll get into that, and then we'll do some individual names. So if you have any individual names you want to look at for today, feel free to shoot them over in the live chat. We'll get to them. All right. So without any further delay, here's market overview. All right, here it is. Okay, as we mentioned the other day, not ideal with NASDAQ not creating that monthly bullish fair value gap, okay? We needed to close above that. What was the high of the month of May? 19,283, and we got a wick down into that area. So not ideal. Okay, we do have an order block here, but not ideal that we did not create an imbalance. That is suggesting to me that this could still go higher. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it'll be as explosive due to the fact that we have not created that monthly imbalance there. Okay, on the flip side, very similarly, look how perfect that is. Okay, no fair value gap has formed on ES either. Okay, so there it is. Just goes to show it is pretty interesting when you look at it from these terms, right? If you had monthly high from May on your chart yesterday on ES, that bounce was almost as perfect you're going to get. Let's see what the low was here. 5,481. The high is 5,433. Very, very close. Okay, so anyways, let's roll. Let's get rid of that. Don't need that right now. I most definitely do not need this. Oh, whoops. Time to be bullish AF. Yeah, we don't need that right now. Okay, so where is back to NASDAQ? Okay, cool. So here's your weekly. This seems like a really, really tall task, but I think it would be very, very important to close back inside this weekly bullish fair value gap if you are indeed bullish. Okay, I know it seems rather unlikely as it's how many points away from at this point, a couple hundred points away, but a close inside that level would be very encouraging for bulls moving forward. You did create, or you're about to create, this bearish fair value gap on the weekly, which is also not ideal. But let's scroll over here. Let's come up to NASDAQ really quickly, and let's look, see here, another daily fair value gap has formed. We are as deep as we possibly could go into discount without shifting structure. So this is really last chance, as we discussed yesterday, but last chance for bulls to right the ship here. You got a couple of daily imbalances above, but this is what we got here. This is what we're working with. So we're gonna, or at least I'm going to take it step by step as we continue forward here, in order to, prevent myself from getting caught up on one side or the other and get absolutely smoked as a result of that. Right. So overall, that is NASDAQ. Let's just go to the hourly as well. So you'll notice here, if we were to zoom a little bit, hold on, let me remove this for a sec and let's zoom in. Look how massive our range is. Okay, that's one. Here's number two. Okay, let's just mark out any of these imbalances that we formed. Right? A lot of names probably have formed that hourly fair value gap here overnight. Oftentimes those do get a little tap heading into the next day. So buy side liquidity here, whoops, all the way up yesterday's high. Let's remove, see how we reacted when we took Wednesday's PM high. But this is where we're at. Buy side is at 390. You got a couple imbalances below, no imbalances in the making here at this moment. So and discount of this range is very, very far away, 19,749. So this is just a little bit of a shorter dated time horizon look at NASDAQ in general. SPY very similarly, you can look at it just like this. Let me get rid of some of these levels, and very similarly, let's go over and map this massive range here. Talked about range identification a little bit last night in the live streams, but here, no. Oh my gosh, another absolutely enormous range. Don't love these relative equal lows down here. And also, let's zoom in and just here's some more divergence between ES and NASDAQ, okay? So while it's very small, while it's a premium bearish fair value gap, and while it's one that I likely would not trade off of, there is a bearish fair value gap down here, okay? Reason I don't really touch bearish fair value gaps in premium is due to the fact that my risk reward is not ideal in that situation, right? So for example, if I'm shorting a premium bearish fair value gap, my risk is essentially the rest of the range while my reward is a move through lows, right? Even if I feel comfortable with price going down through those relative equal lows, that doesn't necessarily mean that it can't go up into discount first, right? So that's why I tend to avoid trying to short these premium imbalances or overpaying. I try to avoid overpaying. That is something that I used to do in the past, and it was something that did not turn out well. So let me just mark out a few more of these just to keep it clean. Here's another. Whoops, this one is untouched. Okay. Here's this as well. Okay. And that. Okay. All right. So that is just the overview. Let me look in the chat, see if anybody had anything, any additions to that, any questions. If you have any individual names you want to take a look at, feel free. I got some names that I can roll through here as well, but let's do this first. Where are we? Hold on. Here it is. Okay. All right, looking to help new generation connect with and understanding the founding values that led to America's greatness. America Part 1 by U.S. Comics is a new 360-page graphic novel by top comic artists explaining America's origin story. Beginning with the landing of English separatists at Plymouth Rock, this stunning graphic novel covers the ideal of a city on a hill, the scientific and spiritual awakening in colonial America, as well as iconic moments such as the Boston Massacre, the Boston Tea Party, Paul Revere's famous ride, the early battles of Lexington and Concord, the Declaration of Independence, as well as many battles and struggles eventually leading up to the American triumph over the British at Yorktown. This patriotic and visual stunning graphic novel is guaranteed to capture the imagination of the next generation Americans in your life. You can find America Part 1, the U.S. Constitution, and other great products at uscomics.com. I think everybody needs to be looking at that stuff for real. Yeah, sure. Let's look at Tesla. We'll start off with Tesla. All right, here we go. Rolling. Tesla. Here's actually an interesting thing on Tesla here. Look where we are on the monthly. Isn't that something? We had that untouched monthly volume imbalance, wicked way above it. And then we pull back in and looks like we're going to close this month inside if we don't turn this around ASAP. Okay. And you might say, oh, that's, bogus, blah, blah, blah. Let's take a look at SMCI last month because I saw this last month and I was like, whoa. Okay. The high of that imbalance is at 85880. Okay. Look at the high of that last month or the previous 2 months. We were over $1,000 at one point and still managed to close that monthly candle inside this bearish volume imbalance right there. So it is very, very possible. But Here's Tesla just on a higher time frame. Here it is, a little bit of a higher time frame. We did hit discount of our overarching bullish range, bullish price run from this low to that high. We took out numerous highs with that run. Now we're in discount of that weekly range. Let's pull it over to the daily time frame here. Very similarly, right off 50% so far, and getting a little bit of a bounce. We do have a daily bearish fair value gap here. This would be the area in which I'm looking at it as a showtime imbalance. Why would this be considered a showtime imbalance? While we've gotten our discount satisfaction, prices retraced to discount. From this point, we have an untouched bearish level, and from this point down here, you have so many more inefficiencies down low that, just to be fair, those can very possibly get retraced into. So this is a little bit of a no man's land. If we were to make it above that level again, I think it's a straight shot back up to those highs. But until then, that's something that I'm taking into consideration. And that daily fair value gap begins at 230. Okay, here's your hourly. Let's pull beauty. Okay, so like many other names, Tesla has gapped higher this morning, a bullish volume imbalance. All right, there it is. And you also created a bullish fair value gap. This was much earlier yesterday morning. Okay, so this is what you're currently working with Tesla. Let me get rid of some of these old bullish levels here. Okay, here, and like I said, we did get into discount, but you'll notice first imbalance formed here onto the downside. What is that suggesting to you? Price is likely to retrace down into discount, and that's what we've got. Okay, also worth noting, we did have an hourly breaker. So you had your low, high, lower low, break up and through, retracement back down into said breaker, and so far so good. Okay, let me change that to black right here. That's a beauty. So your next bearish level on Tesla, above where we currently sit, because technically we are still in one, would be 231.18. That lines up pretty well with your daily bearish fair value gap there. So that is Tesla. Okay, we could see a TGI Friday across the board, which is a 20% weekly retracement on the weekly candle. That would be a pretty substantial move. That's something that I'm watching for. Okay, so that is Tesla. What else? Moderna. Sure, let's look at Moderna. Okay, Moderna higher time frame looks pretty good. Here it is. Whoops, let's zoom. Okay, I took the trade a couple weeks ago, but monthly bullish imbalance, check, solid. Okay, you have buy side at 158 and 170. Let's pull back over here. Let's go into the weekly. Okay, similarly, you have your weekly bullish breaker, weekly bullish imbalance right here. Filled up this bearish imbalance. Now above that imbalance, and I feel pretty good about that run towards that buy side at 170. But we're currently just banging around here. We did take out last week's low and look at the reaction following that. That's pretty encouraging. So if we were to look towards last week's high at 127.15, that could be a banger. Let's say smaller time frame. Let's keep on crunching. I don't love the lows that we put in here, right here. Let's see. It's just sketchy. I don't really love that, but we are gapping up on the daily. So bullish volume imbalance here. Okay, that's not bad. Let's see if the hourly gives us any more insight. Okay, hold up. Whoops. Boom and boom. Okay, we shifted structure with that move here. So not quite where I want it. And there are still a lot of relative equal lows. Dang. Okay, here's your low to your high. Okay, to me, this imbalance, if this makes sense in terms of risk reward, this is much more ideal. So essentially risking like $1.50 on this. Yeah, it could expand from this point. Just don't feel comfortable with that, knowing that my risk is going to be adding on like, two and a half extra dollars to it. But the higher time frame on Moderna doesn't look bad. At some point, this is going to get the shift. It's just a matter of when. Do we clean up those lows down here first? Does it happen now? That's a question, and unfortunately, I don't think I have the answer to that. So, but that is Moderna. Making some breakfast while I got you on the TV. Nice. So I shouldn't just start screaming profanity, right? All right, let's see. What else? What are the names? Let's look at Mara, because Mara is up. I believe Bitcoin is up $1,500. That's good. Okay, so let's pull that up. Mara, solid bullish fair value up here on the monthly time frame. Good. We ran into the volume imbalance again and have since rejected. Here is where we are. So the most encouraging thing for a Mara bull like myself would be a monthly close above that volume imbalance. To me, that's lines you up with the straight shot up to 34.06 to complete the Mando model, and later you got a pretty big range here. So all right. But anyways, here's Mara again inside. Ideally, this weekly, we can get it closed back inside 2077. That's where we currently sit. That is a weekly bullish volume imbalance. That would be encouraging as well. What would be even more encouraging would be the prevention of the formation of this bearish order block here. So realistically, a close below the low or open of last week's candle would be awesome. Bringing it over here to the daily time frame. Here it is. Deep discount. Isn't it interesting where price bounced there? Ready? Hold on. I don't even have this one marked. My bad. Here. Low. Doom. As deep in discount as you're going to possibly get. Here's your current little price run. That nice ripper last week. So far, so good. Currently working right to the top of a bearish fair value gap. Mitigating a bearish level in this situation would be very encouraging, and you would have 2274 as the next bearish imbalance overhead right here. There. Let's remove this. We had a bit of a failed breaker, and over this level, it's really smooth sailing. But this is Mara at the moment. As we all know, this takes quite some time to move. So price could get into here, retrace back into a bullish imbalance, and then ultimately get that run. And that's obviously ideal. But even on the hourly, check this hourly, low to your high. We got our discount retracement. We have our bullish imbalance here. And so far, so good. We're getting our run higher with a volume imbalance to the upside now, currently up 6% pre-market. So let's see if anybody has any more. If not, yep. All right, cool. All right, so that's all I got for me today. For everybody who's joining these, thank you. Next week, we're going to go all out blitz on streaming. So it's going to be stream week every day. Starting on Sunday, we're going to have some sort of stream. I'll try and make some sort of schedule for that so everybody has it, but we're going hard. We're trying to bump the Rumble. We're gonna go crazy on here. But like I said, we are officially 1 month into Mando's Morning Brew from last month. And it's just ironic how, you have 36,000 people following you on Twitter. You got 1,800 people following you on YouTube. And you have like 80 here on Rumble, and my numbers on Rumble are way better. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm pivoting to Rumble. So if you don't have an account, it takes 22 seconds. It's free. To me, it is way better than all the other streaming platforms. No, you're great, Michael. Thank you, sir. But anyways, appreciate y'all joining up this morning for Mando's Morning Brew. I will catch everybody later. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and let's have a good day.